Hello, we are here in one of the biggest sound stages in Europe at the Bavaria Film Studios in Munich, and it's one of the hugest motion capture sets set up worldwide ever, and the biggest one in Europe so far. We have big mass scenes with apes, we have parkour scenes with parkour artists, stuntmen, so that's the reason why we have this huge set.
And action!
Behind us we see one of our props. It's a huge tree. Tarzan is climbing on top of the tree, and we shot the sequence with parkour artists and stuntmen to get as realistic ape motions as possible. That's quite a task with human actors, so we are very happy that we got the big expert in the world, Peter Elliott, to train them in mountain gorilla movements.
Morning guys. So look, I'm going to show you how I'm going to turn from this handsome creature here into a gorilla. Here we have a gorilla butt. You have to have a butt like this so that when you sit down, you can sit down like a gorilla. Because if you haven't got this big butt, then you sit like a human. This is where we're going to stick some reflective markers so we can do the motion capture. Back up. Yeah. So let's just try and run that and see what happens.
My job is to take the actors and try and train them to become gorillas. So I have to teach them how to move like a gorilla, and play and do the faces like a gorilla, and learn all the sounds. And then, once I've turned them into gorillas, then I have to look at the script and get all the actors to behave like gorillas and play all the scenes.
And you just throw yourself back, because they can always put it together.
And I like to start from the inside. So the first thing I do is try and think like an ape. I'm going to try and change the way I think into the way a gorilla thinks, with this short concentration span and a high curiosity ratio.
What's that mean?
For me, as a choreographer, it's much easier to change people into gorillas rather than have to say, move like this, move like that, every move. You've got to actually learn the way they breathe. You take like a gorilla, its size, it's... You see that breathing? It changes your weight and your rhythm and everything. And then also you've got to learn their language. So it's only 5 sounds. Human beings, all their strength is in their legs. So when we climb, we use our legs to create all the power. And when apes climb, all the power is in these arms.
Our Tarzan adaptation actually takes place nowadays. I don't know, I think it's probably the first time that it doesn't take place at the end of the 19th century, but today, so we have the needs for a rather realistic design. As you can see here, we have helicopters in a part of a realistic world, part is it a magic world. Creating the world, we actually did research work in Uganda, Rwanda, Congo, in the volcanic region where the mountain gorillas live. But then we did a lot of production designs to give it a big magic impression. We have a lot of human characters, and for human characters you need a sort of a realistic look, since we don't want to concentrate on cartoony ideas, but also on adventure and action, and that's why we decided to be as realistic as possible, but not so realistic that you actually get lost in what we call the uncanny valley. That is the moment when too much realism actually leads to less acceptance by the audience. We started with dozens of cartoony characters like this one, then we got a little bit more realistic, and then we wanted to have a strong Tarzan character with lots of muscles. And when we got again into a more cartoony guy, and from that one we developed this line, the 14-year-old Tarzan, the 4-year-old Tarzan, and that's our 19-year-old Tarzan, the basic final character. The most challenging task at the moment probably is the fact that we are shooting 2 movies at the same time. A sort of a live-action movie on the motion capture set and an animation movie parallel in our animation studios in Hanover and in Munich.
Action.